Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, move aside Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. We've got a battle to determine who the real Scorpion King is going to be, as Hera, playing as the Khmer in red, takes on Mr. Yo, playing as the Chinese in blue. Now, all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate and closed off surroundings because we find ourselves once more on Fortress and try to get their butts up to Feudal Castle and maybe even Imperial as fast as possible. Why don't we take an opportunity to take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today? Now, the Khmer are a civilization that focuses on some of the heaviest hitting units in the game. Their Scorpions come with extra range and can be upgraded to shoot a second bolt. Their battle elephants move 10% faster and can be upgraded to hit even harder with a +3 attack boost. And their unique unit is quite possibly one of the most annoying units to deal with head on. I am, of course, referring to the Ballista Elephant, which, as it sounds, is an elephant unit with a giant ballista mounted on its back that, by the way, just like the Scorpion, can be upgraded to shoot a second bolt as well. Now, in order to take advantage of these bonuses, upgrades, crazy features, and units, the Khmer have to get their butts up to Castle Age and Imperial Age ASAP with a lot of food in the bank. So to help them do this, they do come with a few cool bonuses. Hera, we're kind of waiting for you to pull this wild boar. First, the Khmer don't need any structures to go up to the next age, which means as long as they've got the resources, they are free to click up. 500 food to feudal, 800, 200 for castle, and 1,000 food, 800 gold for imperial. You do not need any structures whatsoever. Second, once you're at an age, all of the buildings from that age are available to you. There is no such thing as a prerequisite. So if Hera feels like hitting castle age, feudal age, and putting down a stable, he does not need to build a barracks first. If he wants to put up a siege workshop in castle, he does not need to get a blacksmith at all. Lastly, Khmer farmers don't need to bring any food to the town center or to their mills. As long as the farmer is working on a farm, it automatically adds food to the stockpile of the Khmer. Take a look at the top left of your screen. You'll see the food going up a unit, up a unit, up a unit, as long as this one farmer. It was going up a little quicker before, but then some farmers got repurposed to go for the boar hunting, boar meat gathering, or whatever the term is. I'm not exactly Joe Rogan. I'm not an expert on hunting boars right now. But in any event, what that does mean is that if the Khmer manages to sneak into here, he can literally place a farm right here at the very edge of the world, and he does not need to drop off any food. As long as there's a farmer working on there, he or she will add that food to the coffers. And lastly, the Khmer villagers, speaking of those villagers, can be much harder to raid because they can run into and hide inside these houses. And once the danger has passed, they ungarrison and then get their butts back to work. Speaking of getting back to work, an industrious and amazing civilization, the Chinese, very well-rounded, whose economic bonuses and strong tech trees mean a player has a lot of options on how to crush his or her enemies. To start with, all technologies for the Chinese get progressively cheaper, starting in feudal, all the way up to 15% cheaper in imperial, which on a map like this, on Fortress, where the players sometimes do rush up to imperial before we see even a single kill, might be very problematic for Hera to deal with if Mr. Yo's economy if he gets his economy just right. Now, the Chinese farms do seed with 10% more food. Their town centers support 15 population space instead of the usual 5 and come with an extra line of sight. And once you do hit the ground running every single game, because you do start with 3 extra villagers, but 200 less food, 50 less wood in exchange for that. Now, to help defend the Chinese economy, the settlement against raid, all of their towers, all of their walls can be upgraded to get 30% more HP, which on a map like this might be one of the few times we actually get to see the Great Wall upgrade. And the extra line of sight on their town centers does mean that once Mr. Yo starts expanding, if we're lucky enough to see it out onto the map, I'm trying to find additional resource patches, his town centers are going to be much safer because they come with a 7-tile boost to their line of sight, which means he'll see his opponent coming from a mile away and is going to be able to garrison those villagers and protect them. Now, on the field of battle, the Chinese can field all top-of-the-line infantry units, although without the supplies upgrade, you're going to have to pay a little bit extra for your champions. Their foot archers, their skirmishers are also pretty damn strong, especially when you mix in their unique unit, the Chukanu. This is a foot archer that fires multiple arrows and can be upgraded to get even more attack. And while their cavalry is pretty decent, it's really their siege that can be problematic to deal with, since their scorpions can be upgraded to get a +4 attack boost to an already deadly unit. Blacksmith, market, Castle Age to the top right. Hera, I'm assuming, has done the exact same thing. Oh, that's a barracks. How did I'm I played myself, to quote DJ Khaled. Remember, the Khmer don't need any structures to go up to the next stage. So I, like an idiot, am looking for structures until I remember the very words that came out of my very stupid mouth literally minutes ago. Now, as the players rush up to Castle Age, is anyone out on the map just yet? Yeah, Mr. Yo has scouted the immediate vicinity. We'll see if there's any kind of play here. Oh, that's very sour for relics. Look at that tiny Spain-shaped blob of darkness here that the relic is located in perfectly. Let's take a look at the map, because there's a few nifty things about Fortress. The bastard child of Arena and Arabia, if those two maps ever got together and procreated, you would get Fortress. Everyone starts with a castle, I believe 5 farms, 4 houses, a barracks, and 4 towers. Now, the first thing we always want to look at is where are those towers placed, because sometimes they are just hilariously placed, because it is a random RNG, random number generator, I think, that does figure out where to put them. Although, look at this. Generally on Fortress, the maps extend almost to the very edge of the known world, to Terra Incognita here. Hera's base has a lot more space. So these towers, which would normally I would make fun of, because right here there would be emptiness, I'm not really going to make fun of them anymore, because now there's a lot of space here. And so these towers, 2 of them to the back, are actually going to be quite useful in protecting that. We've got another tower in the kind of forward center position, and the 4th tower, annoyingly, I mean, this is very annoying in general, because there's this annoying big forest here blocking this exit. But to make things even worse, there's now a tower also in the way of that gate. Mysterio hits castle. Mysterio also 2 town centers for him. Also, annoying tower blocking the gate. What is going on here today? Another one kind of blocking the gate here. Does he have any in the rear position? Okay, not a terrible location here for this 4th tower, although not really expecting to see much use of that one tower. And at least, okay, somebody in this game has a tower in the kind of forward-ish position. I mean, Hera's is kind of forward, but off to the back a little bit. Mysterio's right in the front. Okay. And like Arena, you do have extra resource patches, stone and gold, right outside your settlement for both players. And the one last thing I'll point out about this map, as both players are hitting the 30s, the low 30s in terms of villager count. No army just yet. Where is Mysterio's scout? Has he explored the entire map? No, he hasn't. Oh, there it is. One thing I will point out about Fortress, unlike Arena, where you start off in an enclosed base and you have a bunch of forests surrounding and flanking you, here you have forests that form part of your wall off. Here, Hera has one to the forward position. Here, Mysterio has one to the kind of corner of his base, which in the early stages of the game is fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but later on, oh man, especially in the Khmer have the only unit in the game who can clear forests in Castle Age, and that unit comes out of the structure that Hera already has. I'm talking about the Ballista Elephant, the only unit in Castle that can clear these guys, these trees. But in later stages of the game, this is going to be very problematic for both players. They have big fat forests in the forward parts, and we'll see how they decide. I mean, this is just annoying. This dead tree. Who wants a dead tree forming part of your wall off? This is just not great. And remember, once we're in Castle Age, both of them automatically have the prerequisite structure, although again, the Khmer do not need it. Let's take a look at the populations now. Still 4-5 villager difference, although never mind, it was 4 before. Now it's 5, it's 4, it's 5. It's bouncing around 10% different in economy for our Khmer, who has the bigger economy. How many relics have they seen? Hera has also unfortunately missed this one relic to the corner, so he's seen 1, 2 on the minimap. Mysterio, 1, 2 as well. Oh, this is this little patch here is still and okay, Hera's gonna find it. So Hera now sees 3 relics, although neither player, do I see a monastery? Yes, I do for Hera, and 1 monk is already out and slowly making his way towards a relic. Mysterio, I don't see a monastery anywhere, so he's not gonna make a relic play, which surprisingly for Mysterio, generally he makes a very strong play to contest the relics rather. In this case, he is not. Hera going for a 4th town center. Mysterio's catching up in villager count, though. He's now down only 1 or 2 villagers off the back of the same number of town centers. Not exactly Persian town centers that work faster, so his Yeah, I was about to say his downtime, his idle TC time must be a lot lower than Hera's. It's a minute lower than Hera's, which with 3 TCs explains why he is now down 2 villagers compared to the 4 or 5 that he was before. First relic being taken here by this red cloaked monk who, defying all the laws of physics, manages to carry a golden metallic wooden thing that looks like it weighs twice as much as he does, with his very strong forearms. Man, oh man, he has been working on the gorilla press. And look at this. Mr. Yo starting to create a bit of a wall off to the eastern northeast of his base. He's still down 2 villagers. Hera with 2 monks is now ahead a little bit in army supply. Hera doing the same thing as well. So neither player here really wants to get sideswiped by the other. Why is Mr. Yo not contesting relics? Because he is training Chew canoes. Now, one of the super cool features about Fortress, which is one of the main reasons I like deathmatch games in Age of Empires, is because everyone starts with a castle. We are very, very likely to see their unique units. Although I say that Hera is not, doesn't look like he's training any ballista elephants at the moment. Mr. Yo, 2 minutes away from Imperial Hera. I mean, look at that food count at the top left of your screen. Look at how much it goes up unit by unit by unit. The villagers, again, do not need to bring anything to a town center. So that is just makes their Hussar spam. So when you combine the insane ability of the Khmer to spam Hussars with Hera's absolute love of sending 30 Hussars into somebody's base, I'm hoping and expecting and anticipating a fantastic game here today. Although we're 20 minutes into it, the kill count stands at a virginical 0-0. Is virginical a word? They're both virgins at the moment. No blood has been spilled on the sands of the arena just yet. Although with the Chukanu heresies, I mean, this is just perfect scout placement here for our Khmer, who now discovers that Mr. Yo is here and there is a castle. Looks like we might be getting our first kill of the game. I mean, I love seeing Chukanus massed, but seeing them individually like this does allow you to see those multiple arrows a lot more clearly. Let's see it. Chase into the base. Oh, I think Mr. Yo was saved there. Had he chased into the base, that would have been a death sentence for that scout. Although he's seen pretty much the entirety of the map. Oh, he hasn't discovered the relic that's right next to his base. And we're still at 0 kills apiece. Now a whopping 22 minutes into the game, and that rattling sound tells me that Mr. Yo's an Imperial, and the second this castle goes up, I'm expecting a Treb. He does have the wood and gold for it. Come on, look at the bottom left of your screen. There we go. There we go. Pro players, there's certain things you can always bank on with pro players, and I love just the never-ending, slowly moving bipedal crossbowman. Although not exactly a crossbow, a Chukanu. I think the Chukanu is the name of the actual weapon as well, right? If I'm not mistaken. And look at the balls on Mr. Yo, placing a town center right outside his opponent's base. You're not exactly playing with somebody who is new to the game. You're playing against Hera, who's hiding a whole bunch of stables, and this is what I'm talking about. Give Hera the Khmer, and I expect to see about 120 Hussars popping out. Somebody kill something. Mr. Yo. Oh, had he moved out just a fraction of a second earlier, would have discovered these villagers. Where are they going? Okay, a mining camp all the way. This is why you need scouting. This is why you need vision. Are we going to get the first kill? No, the villagers escape. And now he's attacking the barracks. Not exactly something that our Khmer needs right now. He's going up to light cab. I'm assuming he has the resources for it. He is going to go Hussar the second he can. And look at Hera just dropping all of the cavalry upgrades. Look at Mr. Yo getting all of the archer upgrades. All right, let's see it. Let's see Khmer Hussars take on Chukanus. They are not elite just yet. They do not have rocketry just yet. They are maxed out in terms of basic attack, and down goes the castle for Hera. So no ballista elephants today. And we finally have kills, ladies and gentlemen. 24.5 minutes into the game. 2 Khmer gold miners lie dead. They knew the risks. They knew the risks. True story. Many years ago, my friends and I came up with this fantastic plan of going up into northern Ontario. If you're not familiar with how Canada works, how our great great nation to the north works. We have provinces. You know how America has states: New York, Massachusetts, Texas, California, etc. In Canada, it's not enough for us to have states. We have to have two different things. We have to have a province and a territory. And we have 10 provinces and 3 territories. Don't ask me the exact legal distinction between the two. I don't know / care. But we have 13, for lack of a better word, states. And Toronto, where I live, is in the province of Ontario. And look at this, by the way. Mr. Yo expecting the Hussars. He's seen them. He's expecting a run by here, and so he is preemptively walling himself in. Hera's running straight into this. Oh, that's why he's running straight into this, because he deletes his own walls. But look at this. Mr. Yo creates a choke point, and bye-bye Hussars. Castle to the south. Chukanus to the north. Another castle about to pop up to the north as well. And Hera has to get the hell out of here. That was just an absolute disastrous adventure there for our Khmer, who, by the way, also has a backup castle up now with a Treb that has popped out as well, and he's getting a second Treb out as well. So was this worth it for Hera to delete his own walls only to get not much done? Now there's 2 castles pushing into him. Now there's an extra town center. Hera, by the way, is going to discover if he pushes into here that there is already a wall off, just like he has to the north of his base. Anyway, to make a long story short, my friends and I had a very, very silly idea to go to Northern Ontario, where there are a lot of public lands, government-owned lands, parks and whatnot, and try to mine diamonds and gold and things like that, because Ontario actually does have a lot of scarce resources like that. Precious resources, sorry, not scarce resources. Hera is slamming into this wall, but 1 villager should be enough to repair this for now. Yeah, 650, 660, 650. It's not going down anytime soon, that house. And look at this, Mr. Yo is discovered. He's discovered, he sniffed out this corner expansion from Hera. In any event, I did not end up mining gold. I did not end up mining for diamonds. And once we decided against it, then we decided perhaps it would be a good idea maybe to go to South America and do that. And that's where, when I said that it was a dangerous venture to mine gold, I just remembered reading all those news stories about people that go to South America to get gold. And man, oh man, do they get in trouble with local police, local gangs, and other people who are there for the exact same purpose. And then you mine the stuff, and then you have no way to bring it out of the country unless you sneak it out. Hera's going to try to keep pushing in here. Mr. Yo running away, even though he's seen this. So now he just kind of, he doesn't want Hera to know that he's seen it. So he's moving the scout. And no, the Chukanus are taking on the Hussars as the Scorpions, basic though they are. There's rocketry for the Chukanus. Now, why did I call this the battle to determine who will be the Scorpion King? Because you have a civilization that has a Scorpion with extra range. Hera needs siege engineers, and then this Scorpion will jump up to a 9 range from 8. And then you have another civilization whose Scorpion will attack with a +4. So it really is a battle of Scorpions. Hera's staying at 11. Okay, 11 is a decent count. He wiped out the entire Chukanu force here. But Mr. Yo has secured his base to the back, his castle. Do I think he thought this castle would stay up forever? Probably not. I don't think he expected to just waltz into Hera's base uncontested and have no real, resistance. So that castle was probably always meant to die, but mostly to establish a presence and allow Mr. Yo most likely to get as much gold from his opponent's side of the map as possible. And what are you building here? Now you're transitioning into cavalry. Okay, so he's seen the Scorpions. One of the big weaknesses. There's tusk swords. Tusk swords? Wait a second. Hera doesn't have a single elephant. Why is he getting tusk swords? I thought that was going to be double crossbow, but then I saw that it's a gray and not a gold crown. Anyway, one of the biggest weaknesses of the Chinese is in their ability to deal with long range. The Chinese just are incredibly weak in that regard. They do not have siege engineers, which means their siege does not get the extra range. They don't get bombard cannons, which is ludicrous. And then they don't get siege onagers. And if you're saying, well, listen, Isaac, it doesn't really matter. You don't need it because he can convert these. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. The Chinese do not get redemption. So these, his only option here against 11 scorpions is to just brute force and kill them like he's doing here. You need melee, and you need to get right on top of those scorpions and absolutely destroy them. Uh-oh, Mr. Yo, though. Castle down, town center's down, and all of a sudden, Hera is pushing back. He took a little bit of damage. About a quarter of his base became dead man's zone. And now he has 136 villagers to Mr. Yo's 138. Army supplies are also pretty damn similar. Mr. Yo is housed. Of course he is. He lost 2 freaking castles and a town center. Remember, the Chinese town center gives 15 population space instead of 5. And bye villager. Mr. Yo's going camel / Chukanu. Scorpions still at just an 8 range. They're going to be heavies. They're going to have siege engineers in 3 seconds. So they're going to have 9 range now, and now they're going to be heavies with a 16, 17 attack. And what the hell do the Chinese do against a scorpion that has 9 range? Mr. Yo's answer, siege onagers. Ooh, I don't know about that. Or not siege onagers, sorry, basic onagers. I don't know about that. I don't think Mr. Yo has an option here. He's got to go for quantity. You're not going to beat this. You're definitely not going to beat 15 of these Khmer scorpions. Not with Chukanus, whose range is a massive 7. Although, to be honest, if they can close with enough numbers, it might not be terrible. But he's getting camels. Camels will not kill those scorpions quick enough. I think he needs cavaliers, or he's just got to go heavy on the light cav and try to catch these guys out of position. Maybe draw Hera out into some kind of trap. Oh no, and now Hera's villager count is going to get gutted here to the south, oh my goodness, the south, the west. And Mr. Yo's building a castle here. There's still some gold left, there's still some stone, so not a bad place for a castle. Maybe you should have moved it a bit more forward. Oh god, everyone's nightmare. How the hell do you engage into this Khmer army? Both players are supply capped at 200. Mr. Yo's camels are missing blast furnace. They get it now, right as the last camel dies. A great attack round there out of these onagers. Another one clips just one of the hussars, and all of a sudden, uh-oh, Mr. Yo's in a bit of trouble here. He's down 10 army count, but these onagers are getting a good amount of shots off. When whatever they leave, the Chukanus are gonna eat up for dinner. What is he doing? Mr. Yo's not training a single military unit. Why are you not training any military? Are you relying on these 3 hero camels? Athos, Porthos, Aramis, they all go down to the scorpions, and 3 more cowardly turn around, run away. Villager bites the dust as well, but is Hera paying attention? Hera's not paying attention. We'll lose 2 or 3 here. Maybe not, maybe 1 down. 2 more down, 3, but loses the onager. 3 scorpions for an onager, not a terrible trade. Even though the scorpion is, again, the cheaper, rather not again, but is the cheaper unit. And what the hell is our Chinese player going to do here? Counter-attacking. A whole bunch of hussars died to these light cav. And a ram. You see, this was unnecessary. You could have just placed your castle here. That siege workshop was really unnecessary. More villagers dying here. We'll take a look at the villager kill count at the end. But right now, Mr. Yo has killed 4 times more villagers. A random monk trying, praying to the gods that he can heal these units up quicker than the hussars can attack them. But no, he gets gunned down. Oh, Hera scorpions are clumped. Oh man, if ever there was a demonstration of why you need siege onagers, with a siege onager, 5 of these scorpions would have died instead of 1. And that is the absolute brutal power of that upgrade. Okay, you know what? Siege ram might not be a bad idea. I didn't consider that. But out of what siege workshop? This one. Hera's been cleaned up to the west. All of a sudden, all these resources, 1100 gold, 700 stone, these are all up for grabs for Mr. Yo, who's now going cavalier. Okay, that's a good move. That is a good move. He should be able to brute force. He's got to delete these houses. He's creating his own choke points. Oh, okay, he does delete it. Now the question, what will happen first? Will the castle fall first, or will these cavaliers get their asses into the action already? Come on. Another siege workshop. Onagers. He's continuing to train onagers. I think he's got to go siege ram. These onagers just don't have the range, and on top of that, they just don't have the firepower. but a whole bunch of cavalry here is getting ready. 24 cavalry units. Okay, okay. For a second, Hera looked really out of position there. Okay. Monsieur, go up and left, and then pivot to the right. He's doing exactly that. The Hussars are completely out of position. Hera runs back. He wants to defend the Scorpions, but Mr. Yo is here. Hera pulled out of position. Maybe he pulled himself out of position. I'm not too sure. And all of a sudden, all the Scorpions are going to go down. And finally, the biggest roadblock to Mr. Yo being able to defend against this aggression has just been destroyed. I don't think there's a single Scorpion here. There's one making its way. Cool little sled tracks in the snow. That was a fantastic get for Mr. Yo, but an expensive get for him. Now, luckily for him, he is mining gold here. He is mining gold here. So he is not short on gold anytime soon. Oh, if only you were a Korean onager and had 1 minimum range instead of 3, you could have definitely softened up a whole bunch of these Hussars. But Mr. Yo, he can't engage right now. He's got to pull back. He's got to give these on. Where, man, the pathing in this game sometimes is bonkers. I don't think he sent this second onager all the way here. And yet again, the difference between onager and siege onager could not be more clear. A siege onager would have destroyed these trebuchets. And yet again, Mr. Yo is getting the Scorpions. This time with light cavalry. He does have 60 villagers on food. It looks like Hera is going to contest this over here with a squad of Hussars. They have 1 kill, 6 of them. Monsieur's been knocked down to 2 castles, 1. Realistically, 1 castle. What the hell is he going to do with this castle over here? No murder holes. Of course, no murder holes, which means these light cavalry units should be good enough to take down that castle in all due time. And he moves in yet again with more light cav. Where are they going? Hera's just body blocking with his massive. He's got 5 times the army supply of Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo needs to get his numbers up, and Hera's will he give him the opportunity? Let's see. Will our Khmer slow down the pace of the game? And for the first time in 46 minutes, the Chinese settlement is open like a cracked egg, ripe for the taking, and Hera moves in. This is what he loves to do. This is what anybody loves to do. Who's kidding who? 33 Hussars are absolutely going to gut that Chinese economy, but oh no, behind this, the heavy camels. There's double crossbow. Oh, Hera must have thought he got that upgrade instead of freaking tusks. Why the hell do you need tusks? You don't have a single elephant, and down goes even more siege for our Khmer back in the Chinese base. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that in picture and see how much damage Hera can get done. Misrio is only down to 116 villagers. Look, I don't mind the camel light cav composition out of our Chinese as long as he can keep killing these Scorpions. Because by the time his cavalry close, those Scorpions are firing 2 bolts. And 2 bolts is enough to soften up, especially when you're fighting with light cav against the SARS. And the last thing you want to do is soften up your camels. Oh no, annoying tower gets taken down. I'm trying to think if the Tusk Swords upgrade that Hera got earlier on, I'm assuming accidentally, because again, we haven't seen a single battle elephant out of him. Does it have any kind of secondary effect? Is it like yeomans for the British that adds the Britons that adds range to their foot archers, but also an extra +2 attack to their towers? Is that what Tusk Swords is like? I don't think so. I think it's just +3 attack to their elephants. Mr. Yo has been knocked down to an even 100 villagers, maybe 99 after this. Nope. Maybe? No, the Hussar gets shot down by the town center. And now Hera's in his element right now. He is going to keep Mr. Yo on the ropes. A few body shots, Mr. Yo stumbles, and Hera notices the opportunity. The send. Oh no, look at that! Our Chinese in the middle of all of this has managed to wall off his settlement. So this may not be as bad as I think. This may not be as bad as I think at all. Need to deal with this one last Hussar who's raiding over here. And now what are we doing? A trash war? Actually, it's pretty damn bad. Look at this. Look at the populations. Mr. Yo's at 117. Hera's at 200 with 11 units queued up. Mr. Yo, okay. Might want to get to work on that castle. But you know what's going to kill these Hussars is all of these freaking Chinese heavy camels. And this is where that tech switch ability of the Chinese, because their techs are 15% cheaper now in Imperial, the ability to just go, hey, I feel like going Cavalier today. Hey, I feel like going Camel. I feel like going Light Cav. I feel like going this, and that. Just allows them to switch so well. One Treb. I mean, these villagers shouldn't be running away. They could be attacking this Treb, and Hera would have no way to defend it. Look at it. It's out in the middle of freaking nowhere. And Hera's just happy to keep sending and distracting Mr. Yo's army. Keep sending these groups of a dozen Hussars to die over here. He doesn't give a shit. His main army is here. And as long as Mr. Yo's entire military industrial complex is caught up in defending and protecting itself here to the west, he is not sending units to attack here to the center. And Mr. Yo, for the first time in a long time, is below 100 villagers. He is going after the Treb. Will get it, I think. Oh, shit, he gets it. He gets it right as the camel bites us. I was going to say, this is why I hate camels doing anything other than killing cavalry, because they just suck at it. An interesting castle placement for our Khmer. Oh, fantastic attack round there by the Onager. What's the camel's HP? Oh, they are down to half of their HP. They are the stronger unit. They've got 38 kills. They're veterans, grizzled veterans of the old guard. But what they don't have is longevity. These scorpions are going to rip through them. My favorite expression on this channel, like I rip through it. Domino's pepperoni lovers, pepperoni feast pizza. Sorry, didn't mean to confuse Domino's with Pizza Hut. One is a feast, one is a lovers. Both of them equally delicious. Camels are now hanging out. Might as well just put them in the castle if you're gonna hang out like that and not really do anything with them. Might as well heal them up a bit. Looks like the castle is down to the west. This one solitary Treb just, oh man, doing so much damage. And again, Hera just keeps sending army here to jeopardize this clump of stables, and Mr. Yo just keeps defending it, which softens up his units. Look at their HP. They're down 200 HP. And by the time they get to the main real battle, they're half dead. Oh, Onager fires 2 shots, only gets 2 kills. And yeah, things are looking real bad now for our Chinese in blue. I mean, Hera's unrelenting. He's got 3,000 food. He's got 90 villagers on food. He's got 10 Hussars queued up at any given moment. I'm surprised it's only 10. I'll see at the end of the game how many stables he had. And he's building stables inside the Chinese settlement. This is how cocky Hera is, that he's got this game in the bag. 19 camels down 600 HP. They move forward, but again, now they're moving into a choke point as well. Another Onager pops out. Why did he pop out in the south? Why not make the waypoint over here? Does clip the edge of one of these scorpions. Gets another one. Okay, 2 dead. Mr. Yo splits it. We saw the Viper recently playing as the Khmer, trying to lure Mr. Yo's units into a death choke point. And Mr. Yo just split his units up, but now he takes 2 big scorpion volleys to the face. And dead they lie. It looks like 4 of them died there. And again, he is clearing up wave after wave of Hussars, but now his gold is shit. And there goes the game. Oh, man. I mean, that was just an epic game. I don't want to hype it up too much, but that was a freaking epic game. Mr. Yo just pushing. A quarter of Hera's settlement was rendered dead by this Chinese push, and then Hera just exploded. There's a lot of Reddit chatter when players, especially new players, play on maps like Arena, and they say, oh, somebody siege rushed me or smushed me or somebody castle dropped me. What do I do? How do I defend? Etc. All basically the same question of how do I defend against a very powerful, quick attack by my opponent? Study this game and study how Hera defended this. Now, this is, again, on Fortress. Everyone starts with a whole bunch of villagers. And by the way, do you see a single mill anywhere here? No, you don't, because they don't need to drop off any freaking food. 3 relics to 2 at the end of the day for our Khmer. But study this game. Stay cool. Lose as much infrastructure as you need to lose. It doesn't matter. A town center, even a castle, doesn't matter, as long as behind it you can build your real army to push back. Know the counters, know what to do, know what to train and what to build to train it. And that is the lesson of this game. If I can get too pedantic here, and at the end of the day, our Chinese supply 106 to 200, and Hera's got 43 Hussars queued up. And so unrelenting this push of our Khmer. And again, the better unit, obviously the Camel, with its plus 18 attack bonus against these Hussars. But you can beat the first wave of Hussars, you can beat the second, but you're definitely not going to beat the third, especially as these Scorpions just continue to encroach. So Hera, knowing that the Chinese weakness here is their ability to deal with range, just builds his most powerful unit. I shouldn't say the most powerful unit. The elephants of the Khmer are pretty freaking powerful. They move 10% faster. They attack with a +3. The ballista elephant, don't even get me started on the ballista elephant. How annoying that unit can be. Although we saw Mysterio's eagles deal quite well with them previously. Now his camels unable to really close on these Scorpions. Although now I'm confusing and mixing units. So ignore what I just said. Hera finally clears up the area. How do I put this? Hera clears up the area that Mysterio cleared up from Hera about 20 minutes ago. Although now all the resources are gone. The Treb is still here. I'm really surprised Mysterio sent those 5 villagers back. They could have easily gone to attack that one Treb, or even just a single Chukanu would have eventually destroyed that Treb. But wow, Hera here holding the line and then pushing out in grand fashion. How many stables do we think he had at the end of the game? I'm going to zoom all the way as far as I possibly can here so we can see how many stables. 23 stables. Mysterio, 12. Literally half the stable count of his opponent. I mean, his food count's not great. His farmers do actually have to drop things off at a mill in a town center. But wow, let's look at the stats, because that was an absolute bonkers game. 474 Hussars. I'm surprised only 139 light cav. Although not too surprised. I guess he built a lot of camels. He built those cavaliers for a little bit. A lot of Chukanus early on. Hera with his usual peak APM middle beginning of the game. Mysterio, what do we think? 3, 4, 5 second mark? No, look at that. 12 minutes ago, right towards the end of the game. All right. Always happy to be proven wrong. Economies. Oh, our Khmer economy, 15% bigger. The only thing, although, wait a second. What am I missing here? Why is it 17,000%? 17,000. Why is it 17,000 resources bigger, but Mysterio got all the resources? How much was his food lead? Oh my God, 24,000 extra food. Well, there you go. There you go. If you like spamming Hussars all the live long day, I suggest you try the Khmer. A little bit less wood, a lot less gold, a lot less stone, 2 castles worth of stone basically. But the food, holy shit, this is where things got dangerous for Mysterio. The never-ending Hussar spam. And like I said, when you're playing against Hera, you know that Hussar spam is coming. And if you give him a civilization like the Khmer, the Turks, anybody, you best believe he's going to use it. 52 buildings destroyed by our Khmer, 27 by our Chinese. Must have been a lot of it in the earlier stages of the game. And what do we think the kill count is? Oh, juicy. Wow, our Khmer, almost 100 villagers killed. Mysterio? So he killed a lot in the earlier stages of the game and then didn't really kill that many more afterwards, just because Hera's base was quite well defended with a bunch of these houses. And on top of that, he was the one putting on the aggression, so Mysterio didn't really have an opportunity, although could have always counterattacked, and he didn't even. Oh man, where's that Great Wall upgrade, right? Where is anything to improve? Both of them actually just sticking to their stone walls. Mysterio, not really. Man, I thought we were definitely going to see that Great Wall upgrade, but in any event, many choke points inure to the benefit of the Scorpion, who has 12 kills already. And with those Scorpions, I mean, how much damage? Inch by inch. Mysterio did not, how do I put this? He did not give ground easily. This wasn't a situation of scorched earth where he retreated all the way from Hera's base to his and just prepared his defenses. No. Every tile was fought over. The Chukanus, the camels, the onagers, anything that Mysterio could have thrown at Hera, he threw at Hera. And ultimately, though, he just couldn't take out the Scorpion in time. And when he did take it out, actually, did I say 18 kills? Yeah. And when he did take it out, man, oh man, was it costly. how many camels, how many cavaliers, how many light cav died. Although who cares about the light cav? How many cavaliers and camels died in his game to defend against these scorpions? And by the time they did so, all of the Chukanus that were here were dead. And so if there were still some Chukanus, these Hussars, maybe they would have been easier pickings, but no, not right now, not with these half dead. I mean, look at the HP bars on this Chinese army. It's down 600 HP out of 1300. Down basically half their HP. They've defended first volley, second volley they might win. There's not a lot of Hussars here, but definitely the third volley, the follow-up, is going to absolutely crush them. And I think Mr. Yo knows that his base has been cracked. His military-industrial complex lies wasted because he's got enough food for 10 Hussars, and he's got 12 structures. So 2 of them are going to be resting fallow, resting idle. And I think he realizes that this is really literally the point of no return for Mr. Yo. And so he taps out, lives to fight another day. And Hera with the fantastic hold. Again, sad we didn't get to see Ballista Elephants. Sad we didn't get to see Great Wall. But I guess we did get to see Rocketry. And for some reason, again, let me know if I'm wrong. For some reason, we got to see Tusk Swords, right? Did he actually get it? Let's one last thing to check. There it is. Why the hell did he get Tusk Swords? I don't know. I thought it just added +3 to their elephant. So that must have been a mistake because he didn't get double crossbow until many of his crossbows is double crossbow. Sorry. He didn't get double. Yeah. My goodness. Sometimes my brain just doesn't work. He didn't get double crossbows until all of his scorpions were basically dead. So I think Hera just mistakenly got Tusk Swords instead of double crossbow when it should have been vice versa. But it ultimately didn't really matter. The more important thing, it didn't really matter, is the 9 freaking range on this guy. 9 range on a Scorpion means the Chinese, without bombard cannons, without siege onagers, without siege engineers, and more importantly, with their monks, that without the ability to convert these guys, just had no response except brute force. Mr. Yo threw thousands and thousands and thousands of resources at these Scorpions, sometimes to great effect, sometimes to no avail, and ultimately he just spends all of his resources, has a little bit left, a lot more than Hera, to be honest, although Hera does have position, he does have presence, and he does have 43 Hussars, and he also has 100 extra population compared to his opponent, and a functioning economy. And so I think Mr. Yo realized all that, decided to live to fight another day, taps out, and it is Hera, our Khmer in red, who is victorious, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.